Judge Brown? Judge Brown?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Ready when you are, sir.
Okay, forms been sent?
Yes, they should be already.
I see them. Okay. Let us print them out real quick.
Judge Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
I just see you only have one paper that I saw got left behind. It's Mr. McCaslin. I'll have to send that one after, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, this is a test. I'm Judge Richard Brown. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance hearing calendar. Today is June 18, 2020. Before we begin, I need to give you some important information. And if you cannot hear me, you need to make sure you can hear me, because the information I'm about to give will make a big difference when I call you up individually. So here's the information. One second. The information I needed to share with you is, first, good morning. And just because you are presently in jail and in a jumpsuit does not mean that you are guilty or that the court thinks you are guilty. Just because I might tell you that in reviewing your charges and your criminal history, you might not have a bond at this moment does not mean that you cannot get a bond. The reason is because everyone, due to the coronavirus and the judicial emergency, I have approved you for a court-appointed attorney. Therefore, the first appearance hearing that we're having right now is not an opportunity to try your case or for me to even have any legal discussions with you about the facts of your case. That is why you have been approved and have a court-appointed attorney to ask those questions and to make those decisions on what you need to do. The purpose of this first appearance hearing is very limited, meaning the only purpose for today is the law requires that you be brought before a judge promptly and that you are advised of what you are charged with, what your bond amounts are, your next scheduled court date, and to determine about an attorney, which I've already advised you have already been approved, everybody. This is not the trial of the case. You are presumed innocent of any and all charges unless or until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. These are your constitutional rights. If you're not a United States citizen, pleading guilty or being found guilty of a criminal offense could affect your immigration status in this country. You have a right to remain silent. Any statements you make going forward can be used against you at any hearing or trial. I've already mentioned that you are presumed innocent until or unless the state proves you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's their burden to do. If you remain silent, the court cannot hold that against you. You have a right to see, hear, question, and challenge any witnesses and or evidence presented against you. You also have a right to present your own witnesses and or evidence. And you also have the right to subpoena any witnesses that you may have. Other thing I need to let you know is this, there are 3 types of bonds you can make. The first type of bond is called cash. Speaks for itself. Someone would need to bring the total amount of your bond in cash to the Clayton County Jail through the Sheriff's Department, turn that money in, and all that money is returned at the end of the case. That money is put up in case the person doesn't show up, the county can get their money. Second bond, it's going through a bonding company. Most people refer to it as, it's called a commercial bond. Most people just say bonding company, but it's called a commercial bond. Bonding companies charge about 15% of the total bond. It could be more or less. You have to talk to the bonding company to get the exact amount because everything is case by case, but generally speaking, they charge about 15%. You get none of those monies back at the end of the case. Third type of bond is a property bond. Someone who owns property and has the deed to the property in their name. They must bring the deed with the property in their name, with the title in their name to the Clayton County Sheriff's Office, and they will sign paperwork pledging that property as collateral to ensure the person's return to court. In order for a property bond to be approved, the property owner would need to have 2 to 3 times the amount of your bond in what's called equity or cash value in that property for it to be approved. For example, if the total bond is $2,000, the property owner would need to have at least $4,000 to $6,000 free and clear cash value or equity in that property so that if the person does not show up, the county can get their money back. Next thing I need to tell you about bonds is this. Some of you have certain conditions on your bond where you will not be ordered to go back around. You will be ordered not to go back around certain people or places. In most instances, it would be your own family or friends, because this is where something that's called family disputes, domestic violence occur among family and friends in households and married persons or children. So when something jumps off, in order to prevent it from escalating, the law allows this court to put an order for bond to have no contact in place against you until things can be brought before a judge or a court, or the prosecutor and defense attorney can talk to see if they can work some things out. We don't want somebody to get into a situation, somebody's been hurt or somebody's been bruised or some property's been damaged, and then person comes into jail mad, gets out of jail mad, and goes back there and it gets worse. So that's why you will have a bond condition against you if you have been charged with an act of family violence or damage, something like that. What you need to know about that is the person that you had the problem with, or the alleged victim, according to the police, will not be able to make your bond. So you can say, oh, me and my wife got into it and You know, it's just one of them things. Everything okay now. And you could call her up and say, come on, get me out, honey. She can't do it. You're not even supposed to be calling once I give you this bond condition. If you do, if you make contact with somebody in violation of this bond order that you will get a copy of, okay? If you violate the condition of this bond in which you will sign and get a copy of, then you could be criminally charged with violating violating a bond order. And if you make that contact in a harassing, intimidating, threatening, violent manner, you could be criminally charged with aggravated stalking. If convicted of aggravated stalking, the maximum sentence and/or fine is up to 10 years in jail and/or $10,000 fine. The next thing I need to let you know is there's a difference between felonies and misdemeanors. Felonies are more serious than misdemeanors. You're charged with a felony. You will not have the option today of sending your case straight upstairs to the trial court and cut down on the time it takes to get up there from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. However, if you're charged with a misdemeanor, which is less serious than a felony, you can waive your case today. When I call you up, I will ask you, would you like to waive your case? Waiving your case, I'm not going to explain it 2 or 3 times. I'm going to explain it just one time. If you don't get it, then I'm going to just let you talk to your attorney. And again, I know you're not a lawyer. You might not understand it, but I'll try to make it simple. When you get arrested, officer has to base it on, have a reason that they arrested you. And they will fill out their paperwork explaining that reason. But they don't have to prove that you're guilty. They just have to have enough reason to show that they arrested you based on what's called probable cause, meaning it's a probability based on what they saw or heard or the information they had. It's a probability you may have committed that criminal offense, but you're still presumed innocent. So just because you've been arrested and you charged or you're in jail and in a jumpsuit, you're still presumed innocent. Getting back to waiving your case, if you waive it, you're saying, I want to send it up to the trial court and cut down on the time it takes to get up there. Your attorney will be there and your attorney will have come to visit you before you get in front of the trial court judge. The prosecutor will be there and the trial court judge will be there. So all options are on the table as far as resolving the case. If you do not waive it, your case will come back to magistrate court. The only thing they have to show is the probability that you may have committed the crime. If the officer testifies under oath that they saw you drinking a beer on the corner, unless you had some couple of witnesses and a document at work saying you had punched in and you weren't there, more than likely your case is going to get transferred up to the trial court and it's going to take another 3 or 4 weeks to get up there. So simply put, waiving your case just cuts down on the time it takes to get to the trial court where they have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the highest burden there is in law. Also, by waiving your case, you are not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney and you can still make bond. If you make bond, your case is automatically transferred upstairs to the trial court anyway. If you make bond, or if I allow you to sign your own bond, your case is automatically going to be transferred upstairs to the trial court. You need to stay in contact with your bonding company or the court or your attorney to know when your next scheduled court date is. Any court date I give you this morning and you make bond, you can disregard that court date. Don't say Judge Brown say I didn't have to come to court. Disregard the court date I'm giving you today, but you need to stay on top of when that next court date will be. It will not be a legal defense to say, well, I just didn't hear anything and I didn't know, so I didn't go. Next thing you know, Sheriff Hill will be knocking on your door and you'll be getting a free ride to the jail. So you need to make sure that you're responsible. other thing is, when I'm about to call the calendar right now, when I start calling it, I got Deputy Knox working, and so we be rocking and rolling. We don't be rushing anybody, but we don't waste time because they got a lot of people and you all need to get out, and your family members trying to get you out. So that's the reason I'm taking this extra time on the front end. So when you come up to the podium, you're not asking me all these questions. Now, I'll answer a question, but if I've already answered based on what I just said, then we're gonna just keep it moving because you need to talk to your attorney. Let's see, anything else I need to tell you?
Did you give him the oath, sir?
Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'll make sure. Thanks for the reminder. So keep in mind that, like I said, if I tell you you have no bond at this point in time, you can talk to your attorney. Your attorney should be able to visit you, not visit you, but make contact with you in 2 or 3 business days, not counting holidays or weekends, and unless they make some exception due to the judicial emergency surrounding the virus. So if you have a bond condition, you will sign paperwork and you'll get a copy of that bond order that have your charges and the condition. If you waive your case, you will sign a waiver form letting the court know or documenting the fact that you want to send your case straight upstairs to the trial court. If you have a bond condition to have no contact with someone, and it's your family member or your residence, and you can't go back there, then I have included in the order allowing you to contact the Clayton County Sheriff's Office or possibly the police department and escort you to get any undisputed personal property that you have. Now, the deputy or the police are not going to go there and have a debate on who paid this or this was a gift. It's going to be any undisputed personal property. If there's any dispute, then it's probably going to stay there until y'all can work it out in court. All right. Having explained all of that, I think we're just about ready to go. I'm going to swear you in. This is an oath that I must give you. Each one of you received a form called a court-appointed attorney's form. I've already let you know I have approved everybody, but I have to give you this oath so that it's clear that you understand that you should not have put any false information in that form because this is taxpayer money. And if you do, you could be criminally charged. So I need everybody right now to raise your right hand, and I'm gonna give you an oath. When I finish, you need to say, I do, if you agree. Do you swear affirm that the information you put in your court-appointed attorney's form was the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And do you understand if you put any false information in this form, you could be criminally charged with a felony, a perjury, or false statement? If you swear to this and understand this, please say, I do. Thank you very much. We shall begin. All right, I need Michael Hightower first so I can address Attorney Brown. Attorney Brown, have I seen you before?
You may have. I had a case or two in Magistrate. I'm mostly in Superior Court. I do family law and personal injury.
I see.
Yes, sir.
How long you been practicing in Clayton County?
Well, I got licensed in 17. I clerked actually for Judge Rooks Malone in Superior for a year.
Which judge?
Judge Rooks Malone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And went into private practice in 2019 and started my own firm last year.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. How long have you been on the bench?
It'll be 14 years in a week and a half.
Wow. Wow.
Ms. Brown,
Yes, ma'am.
Just be advised, the mental health people were not out here because they weren't able to be out here during the announcements. So they're gonna have to be done last, sir, but I do have them up here. All my mental health, they came from the infirmary. Some of them weren't. still up.
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. What's the status on Hightower?
I can get him to the podium. Hold on.
All right, let's get him and then we'll do the female.
Okay, sir. Hi, tell, okay?
Hey, would you have Mr. Rhodes, Darryl Rhodes, should be 2
He's in one of those two down there.
Can you set him up so Larry is secure?
All right, good morning, Mr. Hightower.
Morning.
I'm Judge Brown and your attorney, Daniel Brown, no relation. We're all here. And I need to let you know you have one charge of battery, family violence. Your bond is $5,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Cornecia Mouton. And Attorney Brown, would your client like to waive his case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Attorney Hightower, I've already explained to, your attorney already knows, but your attorney can go and talk to the Solicitor General's office and get that bond condition and or amount changed. All right, Attorney Brown, any questions?
So just I can contact their office directly to see if they get the condition, the amount lowered.
That's right.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll just reach out to a bonding company for that.
That's correct. You can make bond anytime. And since you're waiving your case, it's transferred upstairs to the state court.
Okay. Once I get that bond, how quickly will he be released? Is that up to the
Same evening, unless he has a hold for anything else, they'll release him. They got a crowded jail. They'd be happy to get people released.
I understand. I'll get right on that. Mr. Hightower, we'll talk soon, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you. Anything else, Attorney Brown?
That's it at the moment. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Hightower signed his waiver, and let's start with the young ladies.
All right. I'll be leaving, Judge.
Thank you. Take care.
Sir. Bye-bye.
Judge Brown, we're gonna start with the 17th with the females, with Miss Adams first. Is that okay? Tell me what.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Tanisha Adams. Go to the podium. Put your hands behind you, guys. Take your face mask off. Okay? Gresham.
Yeah, one time now.
Good morning, Miss Adams. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. You have 3 charges: criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, 2 counts. Your bond is $3,500 on each one, and 1 count of simple battery. Your bond is $2,500. Your total bond is $9,500. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Keenan Adams. Would you like to waive your case?
Yes,
Do you have any questions?
I do have one question. I'm 19 and I would have to live with my grandparents.
I can't hear you.
I said I would have to live with my grandparents, but they live in a different state.
What's your question?
So can I go with them or I have to wait?
Well, depends on how you make bond as far as any restrictions, but there's no restrictions on the bond condition that I said. You just can't have contact with Mr. Adams. All right. You'll sign your waiver and your bond condition so you can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
I'll step up, Ms. Gresham. Next is Ms. Gresham.
Ms. Gresham, you have 2 charges. One is criminal trespass. The bond is $2,000. Simple battery, the bond is $3,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Corey Allen Jr. Would you like to waive your case?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
Since me and Corey Allen Jr. have a child, do I just like no contact at all?
The order says no contact. Any questions about how you deal with that, you need to talk to your attorney. I've approved one for you.
Okay.
All right, thank you, man. You can go with the deputy. You sign your waiver and your bond paperwork.
Come in. Next is gonna be Ms. Joyner.
Ms. Joyner, you have 5 charges. Theft by receiving stolen property, the bond is $10,000. Concealing identity of concealing a tag is $500. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, $5,000. Drug-related object, $3,500. And another possession of illegal drugs, $4,000. So I'm not good at math, but I'm gonna try 18. Hold a minute. 19, 20. Look like it's around 23,000 total. Don't hold me to that. And you are charged with, you're charged with a felony. Your court date is July the 22nd at 8:00 a.m. courtroom 202. Like I mentioned, if you make bond, you can disregard that court date. You'll get the notice in the mail. Do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. You can go back with the deputy.
Next is Ms. Lewis, Cynthia Lewis. Go over there, Ms. Lewis.
I don't sign papers.
So, well, hold on. Judge Brown, did she waive? Does she have an option to waive?
No, she's felony. No waiver.
Face mask back on, go back in there. Come on, Ms. Lewis. It's Cynthia Lewis.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Ms. Lewis. Well, it's afternoon now, I'm sorry. You have 4 charges. Criminal damage to property, the bond is $3,500. Battery, the bond is $5,000. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is $1,500. And cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, it's not something you did to the children, it's something that you did in front of the children or something the children heard that they should not have. That bond is $4,000. So your total bond is $14,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Chantrese S. Jackson. Would you like to waive your case? I can't hear you. All right, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, you'll sign your bond paperwork and your waiver. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
The next is Ms. McClendon.
Where'd that stack at? Did I get it out of order? Good morning, Ms. McClendon. All right, stand by 1 second. Are we still on the 17th?
Yes, yes, this is the last one for the 17th.
All right, hold on. Your paperwork got out of order. I've got to find it. Stand by.
Is her name Campbell?
You know me, it's probably sitting right there.
Hey, take example, man. We need to quiet down. Yes, sir.
Not it. Okay, thank you, ma'am, for your patience. You're charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, which is a felony. Your bond is $5,000. And you have a bond condition to have no contact with James Thomas. How do you know James Thomas?
He's my children's father.
Were you all living together?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I let him stay in my apartment.
All right, I'm gonna let you sign your own bond, but you can't go back where he is.
Can I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Since I let him stay at my place, how do I get him out of my apartment?
Okay, I just told you, I can't give you that legal advice. You have to talk to an attorney. Let me just say this. I'm letting you sign your own bond. It's not gonna be a defense. If you go back over there or something happens, that it's my place. Because the fact that you let him, he was living there, that's something that's got to be determined legally. Right now, you have a bond condition that says you have to stay away from him absolutely directly, from his home, his work, his place, any immediate family members, witnesses. You say you all have a child together?
2 kids.
Ma'am?
2 kids
2 kids. Where are they at now?
at my apartment with him.
Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna have to talk to your attorney, but you cannot have contact with him and you cannot go by there. Have the children been legitimized or are you all married?
No, we're not.
Okay, well, you can get the children. You have to go through a police to get the children to where you are.
Okay.
But as far as you trying to get him out and you go in, you're gonna have to talk to your attorney about that.
Okay.
Listen carefully. I'm gonna let you sign your own bond. If there's any problem, they're gonna call me and I'm gonna say revoke the bond and you're gonna be in jail without a bond. Any questions?
No.
All right. You'll sign your bond paperwork and go back with the deputy.
Just, oh, so she has no waiver, sir. She had a felony?
She's waiving, my mistake. Oh, it's a felony, disregard. She needs to sign just the bond paperwork.
Yeah, she'll sign that.
All right, next.
She's on the 18th calendar.
All right, we're on the 18th calendar.
Yes, sir. Put your hands up.
Last.
Is that the one that's in the wheelchair, perhaps?
Yeah.
These two.
Okay, just bring her out. Just put her right there.
Hello, ma'am, your name?
Denise Campbell.
Ms. Campbell, you have 3 charges. Battery, bond is 5,000. Criminal trespass, your bond is 2,500. And you had a 3rd charge, cruel to the children, but I didn't give enough information from the officer. That charge is dismissed. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Douglas Jones. Would you like to waive your case?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
You sign your waiver and bond paperwork. You go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
I'm gonna pull it up some more for her.
No.
Sound like you.
Ma'am, are you Miss Glass?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. And you had 4 charges. I dismissed the one for reckless conduct. And you have 3 left. All right, so open container, the bond is 500. Possession of drug-related objects, the bond is 1,000. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is 1,500. Your total bond is $3,000. That charge of reckless conduct has been dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Do you wish to?
Okay, I'll put it. No, you're not next. Go back. Go back in there.
Okay, ma'am, would you like to waive your case?
What does that mean?
Send it upstairs to the trial court, cut down on the time it takes to get there from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty, you're still presumed innocent, you still get an attorney.
I'm gonna bond out, I think.
Yes or no? You want to waive, yes or no?
I wanna, what he say? Do I wanna do that?
That means you want to sign paperwork, send it straight upstairs. If you bond out, it's not gonna matter. If you, for some reason you're not able to bond out, it'll still get in front of the trial court judge quickly.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you assign your paperwork, your waiver, and then you go back with the deputy. I'm sorry, go back to the deputy and sign your paperwork.
Yes, sir. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Okay, Judge Brown, next we're gonna do Miss Grip. That's one of the mental healths, okay?
Okay, last name Greer.
Grip, Sparkle Grip.
Okay. That is- G-R. How do you spell her last name?
Griff.
Okay, there it is. I have it. All right, Ms. Griff, you have 3 charges. Disorderly conduct. Your bond is $1,500. Simple battery on police. Your bond is $5,000. I think I'm gonna reduce that to $2,000. And false name, the bond is $1,000. Your total bond is $4,500. You have a bond condition not to go back to the Raceway station on Tara Boulevard. Ms. Griff, would you like to waive your case?
What do you mean?
I mean, send it upstairs to the trial court to get there quicker if you want to waive it.
What do you mean? Right today?
No, and it's something within the next week or 10 days it'll get up there instead of 3 or 4 weeks.
No, I wanted to get up in there in 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, that's fine. So your next court date is going to be July the 21st at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. So you'll sign your bond condition paperwork and you can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you. Your last name?
Lindsay?
Ms. Kinsey, you have, you had 2 charges. The officer didn't give me enough information on one. So your felony got dismissed. You only have possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is $1,500. Would you like to waive your case?
No.
Okay. If you don't waive your case, your court date is July the 21st at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202.
It'll be longer, right? No?
Say it again.
If I waive it, it'll push it back longer?
By not waiving it, it keeps it longer.
Oh yeah, I don't want to waive it.
Okay, so July the 21st, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202.
You just felony, right?
I dismissed the felony.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Okay, go.
The DA can put it back up there, but I dismissed it.
Okay, so that was Ms. Kinsey, sir? Okay, go inside, Ms. Kinsey. Next, Judge Brown, Ms. Pugh is the one that's quarantined, sir. She's not able to attend. So the next one's gonna be, hold on. Sam, because Ms. Riggins bonded out.
Thank you.
Are you clear, sir?
I'm sorry. Repeat, please.
Sure, Jessica Pugh is quarantined, so she.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, and Dejanay Riggins bonded out. Put your hands behind your back, Ms. Sams. So this is Ms. Ashley Sams.
Bonded out. Okay, Ms. Sams, you have 3 charges. First one is improper lane change. Your bond is $500. Driving under the influence, your bond is $4,000. And violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, your bond is $5,000. Your court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
What's the total bond? Do I do each one individually?
No, you can do it all at the same time through a bonding company or commercial, cash or property. Your total bond is $9,500.
$9,500, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
10% of that. Well, I think they upped it to 15%. Yeah.
Okay, well, you have to talk to the bonding company or your attorney about that. Anything else about this, what I explained?
I was wondering what the acronym is. The acronym for the charge. DCG, whatever.
Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That just means illegal drugs. Okay, you take care.
Okay, go, Ms. Put your face mask on, Ms. Sams. Go with the officer.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is gonna be Ms. Tucker, Ms. Simmons, I'm sorry, Ms. Simmons, sir.
Ms. Simmons. All right, Ms. Simmons. This one else. Okay, so he didn't amend it, right? All right, I need to hold Ms. Simmons
Okay.
to
So
the end, to the end. I need to go back and check something on her.
put your face.
Sorry about that.
Okay, next will be Ms. Tucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Ms. Simmons can come back.
Okay. Put your face. Ms. Tucker.
Ms. Simmons, I'm going to, wait a second. I'm dismissing your charges. Listen carefully. How old are you?
18.
You got arrested with another person, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who do you live with?
My sister right now until I go back to North Carolina next week.
How old is your sister?
21. I could go
Yeah.
back, go to my mom.
Okay, listen carefully. Where does your mother live?
She lives in Stone Mountain.
You say you're 18?
Yes.
How far did you go in school?
Oh, I graduated
When?
June 1st.
Of this year?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir.
And you getting caught in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
Yes, sir.
So let this be a lesson to you.
Yes, sir.
Now you can take my kindness for a weakness and just say, hey, I ain't worried about it. Or you can say, hey, the judge gave me the benefit of the doubt so I can move on with my life. I'm dismissing it because of technicality. The officer did not have all the information in here that he needed to have. And because you have no prior record and because you are young and you just graduated from high school, then using my discretion to dismiss the charge. Now they can go to up to the district attorney's office and still try to indict it and bring it back up. But for now, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Don't take my kindness for weakness and show some appreciation by not ever coming back to jail and not hanging around with people that mean you no good.
Yes, sir.
All right, your charge is dismissed.
Thank you.
Put your face in. All right, go back. Come on, Ms. Tucker. The last one is Ms. Tucker. Last female, I'm sorry, sir.
Tucker, Ms. Lauren Nicole Tucker.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Tucker, unfortunately, you have no bond at this time, but as I mentioned, you are able to get a bond by talking to your attorney, who can go to the district attorney and try to get you one. You charge 1 count of robbery, 1 count of false imprisonment. You have a bond condition to have no contact with John Bentley. The next court date is July 22nd, 8:00 a.m., courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Will the public defender come and talk to me within a few business days?
Yes, they're doing video, so I don't know how long it's taken them now since the coronavirus, but they are still required to communicate with you as soon as possible under these circumstances. So just contact their office or they'll contact you and they'll give you an idea of the timetable.
Yes,
Have your relative to contact them, say that the judge has approved you for a public defender and you want to know who it is and how long it might take to get contact.
sir.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck.
Okay, Judge Brown, we're gonna go back to the 17th, so we're gonna start with Keenan Adams and then Jordan.
Are we finished with all the females?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you have a Joy Jenkins.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see, sir.
She was an add-on.
Oh, well, then I don't have her. No, sir. I don't have a George Jenkins at all. We have to do her in the middle, so I'm gonna have to go get her now. I have to get somebody.
Okay, doke. All right, we'll hold up paperwork. All right, let's go to Keenan Adams, right?
Keenan Adams.
All right, Mr. Adams, how are you doing, sir? All right, you making it. All right, you got 4 charges. You got 3 counts of battery, 1 battery, 2 simple battery, and 1 criminal trespass. You have bond condition to have no contact with Tanisha Adams.
Tunisia.
Okay, sorry about that. Your total bond is, looks like 12,000. Would you like to waive your case?
No. You said waive is like,
You cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney. You still can make bond. If you don't waive it, your court date will be July 21st. And if you waive it, you'll be in front of a trial court judge in 7 to 10 days. And if you don't waive it on the 21st, it could get reset again. It might take 2 or 3 more weeks.
no, I'm not waiving that.
Okay, so your court date is July the 21st at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You'll sign your bond paperwork and you can go back with the deputy. Thank you.
Judge Brown, I'm gonna
Yes.
have to find Mr. Bordeaux. Come over here, Mr. Adams.
Okay,
So next we're going to deal with Mr. Brantley.
okay, I'm ready.
Hey, Devontae Brantley.
Got it.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good, Mr. Brantley.
I'm good.
You got 2 charges. One is obstructing office of the bond is 1,000. And possession of marijuana less than an ounce, your bond is 1,500. Your total bond is 2,500. Would you like to waive your case?
What would you prefer?
Not, I can't tell you. I can just give you the information, but you have to look at your reality and decide. I explained that if you waive it, it cuts down on the time it takes to get to the trial court. 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You still get an attorney. You still can make bond.
Yes, sir. Well, I don't want to waive it. I just want to make bond.
Okay, if you make bond, it's automatically waived. So your court date is July the 21st at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on up, Mr. Copeland. Stand right there. Put your hands on the wall. James on the wall.
Mr. Copeland, you have the 1 charge simple battery, bond is $3,500. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Shakara Eason. What's your relationship to her?
That's my sister.
All right. Were you all living in the same house?
Yes, Your Honor.
With who?
My mother.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you sign your own bond, but you can't go where she is. Wherever she is, you cannot go. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you go around her and something happens, you're gonna be in jail without a bond. Would you like to waive your case?
I just signed my bond, right?
Oh, that's right, it's signed, that's right. So you're gonna sign your bond condition paperwork so you can go back with the deputy and they'll release you shortly.
All right.
What's your name?
Your name?
Jason Dennis.
Judge Brown,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Can you put Mr. Curry and Mr. Renard Davis last, please, sir? We have to locate these gentlemen. I was under the impression that everybody was here. These 2 gentlemen are not here as well. So this is Jason Dennis.
All right, Mr. Dennis, you have 1 charge of simple battery. Your bond is $4,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Kevin Hackett. Would you like to waive your case?
No, sir.
All right, your next court date is July 21st and 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Please understand, by not waiving your case, it'll come back to magistrate court if you do not make bond, and it could get reset again and take 2 or 3 more weeks. By waiving it, you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court, 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You still get an attorney. You still can make bond. You sure you don't want to waive it?
All right, yes, sir.
Guess what?
I'll waive it.
All right. You'll sign your waiver and your bond condition paperwork to understand you cannot go back around Kevin Hackett. You'll sign both of those and you go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Your name?
Glass, Freddy Glass.
Mr. Glass?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Glass, I see you. You have one charge, pointing the pistol at another. The bond is $10,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with DeJuan Gates. Do you have any questions about that?
No, sir.
Would you like to waive your case?
No, sir.
By not waiving your case, you come back on July the 21st. And it's a good chance it could be reset again, which will take another 2 or 3 weeks. If you waive it, you'll be in front of a judge in 7 to 10 days. And you're not pleading guilty, you're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney, you still can make bond. You choose not to waive it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your court date, July 21st, got a bond condition, you'll sign that. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Okay, Judge Brown, please. The next one, Mr. Garrequez, he has to be found too, sir. I gotta get him. So the next one's gonna be Tommy George, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have either of the Garrequez for some reason, sir. I'm gonna get these gentlemen now.
All right. Okay, Mr. Tommy Lee George, you're not gonna be happy what I have to tell you. The officer initially charged you only with battery, but I find that based on what I read under the facts, it's aggravated assault, and your bond is $25,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Michael Trimble. The next court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
Yes, how I become a felon and I didn't use no weapon or nothing, sir.
Well, when you
And he pushed me and then.
hold on. I'm not debating and talking about the case, but I will answer that question.
Yes, sir.
I determined it's aggravated assault instead of a battery because the officer put in their affidavit that
Yes, sir.
you choked and scratched him, leaving scratches and drawing blood from the victim's neck. That's considered, from the court's understanding, for probable cause, aggravated assault, strangulation. I find that drawing blood and scratches around a person's neck that you choke is probable cause for aggravated assault, strangulation. That's the answer to that. Anything else, you have to talk to your attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right, you sign your paperwork, your bond condition, you can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you. And your attorney can get that reduced. Your attorney can possibly get that reduced, but that's what I found.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm.
The next one is Mr. Hall.
Mr. Mark Dixon Hall.
Yes, sir.
Hall, you get 3 charges. Your bond's $3,000 on each one. False report of a crime, unlawful conduct during 911, and obstructing an officer. Total bond is $9,000. Would you like to waive your case?
No, sir.
Okay, by not waiving your case, it'll come back on July 21st. It could be reset again to another 2 or 3 weeks. By waiving it, you can be in front of a trial court judge in 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty, you're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney, still can make bond. You choose not to waive it.
I don't want to waive my case.
July 21st at 8 o'clock. You can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
The next one is Hill, sir. Come on up.
All right, Mr. Hill, you got a tenant window violation. Your bond is $500. And possession of dangerous drugs, your bond is $5,000. Total bond is $5,500. Your next court date is July 22nd at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
How much you said the bond was again?
$5,500 total.
Total.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I don't have no questions. I just want to get it on paper.
Okay. All right, you can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Judge, was he a waiver?
No, I'm not waiting. I'm not.
No, he has felony.
Yes, sir.
Judge Brown?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Jackson has to be brought up too as well, sir. So the next is gonna be Demarius Lovett.
Mr. Lovett, you have 3 charges. Possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I cannot set you a bond because my records show you are presently on probation, but you can be considered for a bond at your next scheduled court date or by talking to your attorney. You have 2 other charges: possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is $1,500, and improper lane change. The bond is $500. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, you can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
Judge Brown, the next one is Medici.
Got it.
Take the face mask down, Mr. Medici.
All right, Mr. McGeechy, you have 1 count of simple battery. I records show you presently on probation, so I cannot set you a bond on the simple battery charge. However, you can be considered for bond at your next scheduled court date, and you have 1 charge of criminal trespass. Your bond is $1,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Tarika Martin. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Would you like to waive your case?
If I waive my case, sir, would this speed up? Like, I'm trying to get both cases with my probation and this new case. I'm trying to handle both of them at one time.
I can tell you is by waiving your case, you'll be in front of a trial court judge much quicker if you don't waive it. And normally it's 7 to 10 days instead of 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. All right.
Talk to me. What you want to do?
I guess I'll waive it.
Okay. All right. You'll sign your bond paperwork and your waiver. You can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
One moment, Judge Brown. The next one is Mr. Miller, Mark Miller. He has some mental health issues, sir. Give us 1 moment, okay? He's coming.
All right.
Judge want to talk to you. See what they can do for you. Right here.
Mr. Miller, you have 2 charges: entering an automobile, your bond is $5,000, and criminal damage to property, the bond is $5,000. You have a bond condition not to go back to 6550 Tara Boulevard, Jonesboro. Your next court date is July 22nd at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You have any questions?
Sir.
Okay, he said no.
All right. Okay, thank you, sir. You go back with the deputy.
Powell. 1 moment, sir. Go, Mr. Miller. Next is gonna be Powell and then Price. 1 moment, sir, okay?
All right.
Last name Powell, last name Price. Last name Price.
Mr. Powell,
Yes, sir.
you have 3 charges. First one is tenant window violation, bond is $500. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, $1,500. And drug-related object is $2,000. Your total bond is $4,000. Would you like to waive your case?
I would like to, is there any way that I could be able to do a signature bond? Because I don't have.
No, sir. You have to talk to your attorney. Would you like to waive your case? If you waive it, it cuts down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney. You can still make bond. If you choose not to waive it, your court date will be July the 21st, and it could be reset even after that. Would you like to waive it? My last time asking, yes or no?
I'll waive it.
You say yes?
Yes.
All right. You'll sign your waiver and you go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Next is Mr. Alvin Price, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Hello, Mr. Price. You have 2 charges: battery, family violence. Your bond is $7,500. Cruel to the children, and that bond is $2,500. Your total bond is $10,000. Do you think you'd be able to make your bond? I'm sorry, disregard that. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Sarah Williams. Would you like to waive your case?
Waive it to, what date is it set for now?
If you choose not to waive it, it'll be July the 21st. And if you waive it, it'll be in 7 to 10 days. And if you don't waive it, that July 21st date could even be reset after that.
I'd like to waive it.
All right, unless you have any other questions, you will sign your bond paperwork and your waiver, and you can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Next is Mr. Samuel.
All right, Mr. Samuel, you have 4 charges. I dismissed one because also didn't give me enough information on the possession of firearm by a convicted felon. So you have 3 charges: possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is $1,500. The other 2 charges, I have set no bond because of your past history. And that's the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. Those are both felonies. Your next court date is July the 22nd at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Okay, you said you dismissed one of them, correct?
That's right. Possession of firearm by a convicted felon. They can bring it back up once they get upstairs, but also didn't put in there when and what you were convicted of. So I have no choice but to dismiss it.
Okay, and you said I got the possession. You said I got the commission of a crime and the drug, the control, and the marijuana, right?
Yes, sir.
And I have no bond on it.
No bond on those 2, the drugs and the weapon. But you talk to your attorney, they can get you a bond.
Are they open for us to talk to them? Like,
They'll contact you as soon as they can. Normally it's 2 or 3 business days, but I'm not sure what it is now. Either you or your family member can contact the public defender's office and they can tell you.
all right. And you said,
All right. Good luck to you.
all right. You said the 22nd, correct?
Yes, sir.
One moment, sir. Next, Judge Brown. Mr.
Yes.
Medina is not here, so he's gonna be coming up. The next is Mr. Sy, S.Y., sir.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 26, about to turn 27.
You have 1 charge: possession of marijuana over an ounce. Your bond is $5,000. Your court date is July the 22nd. Unless you make bond, you can disregard this court date. You'll get the notice in the mail.
I have a question, sir.
Hold on, I'm not on the question yet. Who do you live with?
My mom.
Are you working?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. I heard of that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Uber Eats.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And sometimes I do Lyft too,
Okay, what did you want to tell me or ask me?
Yeah, I was saying, sir, where the black bag?
No, you have to talk to your attorney about your case. I can't let you get into that.
And then my bond can be low.
Hold on.
'Cause,
Don't say anything, sir.
Hold on.
oh, I
Listen to
didn't, I
him.
didn't,
You gotta listen.
I'm sorry, man.
You live with your mother?
Yes, I live with my mom. Excuse me, I barely speak English too. That's why I speak French.
You speak French. Okay. So how you say thank you in French? Because I'm gonna let you sign your own bond.
Merci.
Merci.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's like,
Just make sure you don't wind up
yeah.
around
Uh-huh.
people, places, and things.
I got you.
You got me? I don't need to say nothing else.
No, keep going. I was saying, I got you.
No, if you got me, that's it. But you still got the charge, but I'm gonna let you sign your own bond. You have an attorney, so good luck to you. Just don't get into anything before you get this behind you.
Okay, got you.
Okay, come
All right, they'll let you sign your own bond.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Who we got, Mr. Walker?
No, there's no, it's Mr. Yancey. What?
Mr. Cameron Yancey?
Yes, sir. Hold on, let me see. What was the name you just said, Walker?
Rayshawn Walker is one on there, but I can do you, Mr. Yancey?
Yes, sir. He's out on bond. Mr. Walker's out on bond.
Mr. Walker's out on bond.
And this is Mr. Cameron Yancey. Yes, sir.
Mr. Yancey, you got simple battery on the correction officer. That's not a good situation there. But you're presumed innocent, so you don't have to talk about it. You have an attorney. Your bond is $10,000. And would you like to waive your case?
You said no, sir. You gotta speak up a little louder, Mr. Yancey, okay?
Okay, by waiving your case, you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court judge from 7 to 10 days. Instead of 3 to 4 weeks, you're not pleading guilty, you're still presumed innocent, you can still get an attorney, you can still make bond. If you choose not to waive it, your court date is July the 22nd, and it could be reset after that. You have any questions, or do you want to waive it?
Yes, I have a question. I didn't do anything, so I was innocent.
Okay, hold on a minute. There's a difference between making a statement. You have to make a statement to your attorney. I've approved you for an attorney. If you have a question, I'll try to answer it. Otherwise, your court date is going to be July 22nd. I'm sorry, 21st. And you can go back with the deputy unless you tell me you want to waive it.
If I waive it, what would happen if I waive it?
You'll be in front of a judge in 7 to 10 days instead of 3 to 4 weeks.
No, I do not want to waive.
Okay, July 22nd. 21st. You can go back with the deputy, July 21st.
Yeah, I was getting raped. Hold on, let me talk. I can't talk to you.
You can't talk no more, Mr. Yancey. The next is Mr. Boykin, sir. We're on the 18th now, sir, because I'm getting those other people for the 17th. We'll have to go back to them, but they're coming up.
Okay, so your last name?
Boykin.
Okay, I got you, Mr. Boykin. Here we go. Mr. Boykin, you have a battery family violence charge. Your bond is $10,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Cedrica Hubert. Do you think, let's see, would you like to waive your case? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
You'll sign your bond paperwork and your waiver, so you can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you. You can talk to your attorney about getting the bond reduced.
Next is Mr. Billups.
Mr. Billups, you have 3 charges. Improper tag, display 500, tenant window violation, bond is 500. Theft by receiving stolen property, your bond is 5,000. Your total bond is 6,000. Your court date is July the 22nd. Courtroom 202 at 8 o'clock. The theft by receiving firearm is a felony. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. You can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
I'm sorry, sir. Did he have a bond? Or did he need to waive?
No, it's a felony.
Next is Mr. Bornstein.
Mr. Bornstein.
One moment, he's coming, sir. He's got some issues with his leg.
Okay, doke. All right, Mr. Bornstein, you have 2 charges because of your history and your recent history too. There's no bond at this time. You can be considered for bond at your next scheduled court date, or you can talk to your attorney about getting you a bond before your next scheduled court date. At the present time, your court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. The two charges are violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, specifically suspected meth and possession of drug-related objects. Unless you have any questions, you can go back with the deputy.
Next is Mr. Robert Brown. Judge Brown, he has some mental health issues. He was in that, he's from medical, sir.
Gotcha. All right. How you good, Mr. Brown? All right, Mr. Brown, you have a terroristic threat charge, simple assault charge, and obstruction charge. You have no bond on the terroristic threats. You got a $3,500 on the simple assault, and obstruction is $3,500. You also have a bond condition to have no contact with DeQuavius Newton nor Officer J. Rowe. Your next court date is July 22nd at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Unless you have any questions, you can go back with the deputy.
The next is gonna be Mr. Darden. Mr. Darden?
Hey.
Come on, Mr. Darden, to the podium. Come on, Mr. Darden. Go to the podium, sir. Where you facing this time, sir?
Mr. Dargan, you have one charge, theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond is $2,000. You have a bond condition not to go back around 1473 Pine Drive. Would you like to waive your case? Sir?
You said waive my case?
Yep, but if you waive, you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. If you don't waive it, your court date is July 21st. And it could be reset again.
I'll waive.
All right, you'll sign your bond condition paperwork and your waiver. Good luck to you.
Next is Mr. Dunlap.
How you doing, sir?
Good, Mr. Dunlap. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yep.
26.
Who you live with?
I stay with me and my sister have our own spot. Well, apartment.
Uh-huh. Okay. You have one charge, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is $1,500. Do you have any questions?
I would like to ask the question, but I don't know if I can ask the question.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm talking about it's concerning the reason I'm here.
No, I can't talk about that. You have an attorney, but I'm gonna let you sign your own bond so you can talk to your attorney. Just make sure you don't get in any trouble while this case is pending. Otherwise, I'll tell them to bring you back to jail. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Judge Brown, Gibson's gonna have to stand by. He's gonna be in that next bunch, so it's gonna be Gibson next, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Brown, Mr. Dunlap needs to sign a waiver, or?
No, it's okay. Since he signed his own. Thank you, though. You, Mr. Gibson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gibson, you have one charge of loitering or prowling. Your bond is $1,000. You have bond condition not to go back to 59 McFerrin Circle in Riverdale. Would you like to waive your case?
Yes. Can I ask you a question before I decide?
Go ahead.
If I waive it, can I go home today?
If you make that $1,000 bond, you can.
Even if I waive it, I'm gonna still have to stay in here, right?
Unless you make that bond.
All right.
I considered letting you sign it, but I can't do it. Your record doesn't allow me to let you sign your own bond. All right, you want to waive it, yes or no?
No, I'm just pay the bond, I guess.
All right, your court date is July the 22nd. Sorry. July the 21st. If you make bond, you can disregard that court date. You'll get the notice in the mail. But you got to sign your bond paperwork to not go back around that place. Good luck to you.
Hey, face this way.
Judge Brown, the next one is gonna be Graham, Mark Graham.
All right. Mr. Graham, I'm going to surprise you today because of your history under the DUI charge. Your bond is $25,000 on the charge of DUI. And if you want me to explain it, I will, but I don't think I have to. You also have one charge driving on suspended or revoked license. Your bond is $1,500. Improper lane change, your bond is $500. Your total bond is $27,000. Would you like to waive your case? Yes, no? All right, your next court date is July 21st. Courtroom 202 at 8 o'clock. If you make bond, you can disregard that court date. You'll get the notice in the mail. You can talk to an attorney about getting your bond lowered based on your history of, I don't even want to put it out there in the public, but you know what your history is. All right, good luck to you.
So come over here. Judge Brown, the next one is gonna be Mr. Hill.
All right. Mr. Kevin Hill. Mr. Hill, you got one charge, theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond is $2,000. You have a bond condition not to go back 1473 Pine Drive. Would you like to waive your case, or do you have any questions?
I want to waive the case. Well, I'm waiving it. I'm going to straight to magistrate court, right?
Or you go upstairs to the state court, the trial court, where they can resolve everything.
Okay, that's good.
That's good with me. It's good with you. All right, you'll sign your waiver and your bond paperwork. Good luck to you.
Okay, Judge Brown, Mr. Ivy, you have to stand by for him. The next one is Mr. Andre Martin.
How you do, sir?
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. Trying to find your paperwork here. How you spell your last name?
Martin, sir.
Oh, Martin. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, Mr. Martin, you have an aggravated assault for which I did not set you a bond at this time. You can be considered for bond. Your next scheduled court date to talk to your attorney about getting the bond. And you have a charge of battery. Your bond is $5,000 on that. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Lorenzo Williams. The next scheduled court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. So that means I don't have a bond today?
Nope, not today, not right now. So like I say, you talk to your attorney and they can possibly get you one, but it probably wouldn't be today. So like you're gonna have to wait a minute or two. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Judge Brown, the next one is Mr. McClaskey. Hold on one moment. He's in a wheelchair, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Mr. McClaskey, sir.
Okay, Mr. McClaskey. Mr. McClaskey, you have, hold on 1 minute. 2, 4, 6 charges. Theft by receiving stolen property. Bond is $10,000. That is, I think, hold 1 minute. That is a weapon stolen out of the Atlanta Police Department. Doesn't mean you stole it, but you had one that belongs to the city of Atlanta Police. Bond's $10,000. Possession of firearm by convicted felon, the bond is $5,000. Driving a suspended or revoked license, the bond is $1,500. Uh-oh, no, let me see. That's right. And then concealing identity of a tag, the bond is $500. Driving no insurance, $1,000. Expired or no license plate, $500. Looks like your total bond is $18,500. Your court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You have any questions?
I just like to ask, is there some way that you could allow me to sign my own bond? My son was murdered last year in July. After they called me, he was murdered in Arizona.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you're gonna have to talk to your attorney about that. I've already explained that, sir. And based on those charges, I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
The next one is going to be Mr. Nguyen. One moment, sir.
Ma'am.
One moment, sir.
Take your time. Your name Eric Navarrete?
No, sir. The next one I had was Joshua Nguyen.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, sir, you have no bond at this time, given the seriousness of the charges, which is statutory rape, aggravated sodomy, aggravated sexual battery, aggravated child molestation. Your court date is July the 22nd for your preliminary hearing, and then your bond hearing is that next day. Okay, so your bond hearing is the 24th at 8 o'clock, same courtroom 202. You have a bond condition to have no contact with or breathe Huynh. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. You talk to your attorney.
Next is Mr. Navarrete.
Bond hearing date. I'm sorry, one more time.
Be Mr. Navarrete, the one you had called initially.
All right. All right, sir, you got two charges, loitering and prowling. The bond is 1,000, criminal trespass, 1,000. Have a bond condition not to go back around the Jonesboro High School, 7728 Mount Zion Boulevard. How old are you?
17, sir.
Before we get, the school went out for the virus, where were you going to school at?
I was just walking through school and they told me that I was.
No. What, are you in high school or did you graduate?
I'm still in school, sir.
Where?
Perry Learning Center.
Who you live with?
My mom.
Your mama know you was out at 4 in the morning?
Yeah.
She did?
Well, no, now she do know.
Well, I bet she know now. Okay, well, I don't know. You must have a back door you can leave without her knowing, but what grade were you in?
11th.
So, you know, you over at the Perry, you over at the Perry, you shouldn't be distracted. That's why the Perry over there, so you won't get distracted from stuff. So you got to be careful, make sure you don't hang around people that's going to have you being distracted. That's why you over there. I had a young man that I was mentoring who was over there. And he did real well because they took him away from all those distractions. So you can't go over there and they have a great resource and a great program. And then you fool around and be influenced by some knuckleheads, or either you a knucklehead influencing somebody else. I wish I could talk to your mama, because how many brothers and sisters you have?
I got 4 brothers.
4 brothers, you got no girls?
No.
Oh man, your mama needs it. I'm gonna give your mama a break. Are you the oldest?
No, sir.
Were you in the middle or the baby? Don't tell me you're the baby.
I'm the middle child.
Okay. I'm the middle, so you can't be that bad. So the middle, we kind of wise, but we've seen on both ends. You making the middle, you messing us middle reputation up. All right, I'm gonna let you sign your own bond. I hope your mama's listening. So all she gotta do is call Judge Brown and say, come get him.
All right.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
And all these knuckleheads you hanging out with at 4 in the morning, you need to make sure you tell them I can't go.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, you can sign your bond. Good luck to you.
Okay, you gave my OR. Okay, come over here, sir. Put your face mask up. The next is Penitent. Please face mask up. Put your hands on the wall. Turn around, face the wall. Please face mask up.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Anthony Pennington.
Yes, sir.
I got to ask you the same questions. You hear everything I just asked that young man?
Yes, sir.
That your buddy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, yes, sir, my bad.
You know, y'all partners. You can either be partners in, they say partners in crime. They don't mean crime, but sometimes that's what it is. But or you can be partners. I got partners. You can be partners in helping keep each other on the right track. Are you a follower or are you a leader?
I want to be a leader. I ain't trying to be a follower.
Well, you want to be.
I am a leader. Yeah, that came out wrong.
How old are you?
17, sir.
What grade?
11.
What school?
Perry Learning Center.
Who you live with?
My mother.
These mamas, these boys, I don't know. You got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got 3 sisters.
Oh man, don't tell me you the baby.
Nah, I'm the firstborn. I'm the only boy though.
Oh shucks, so you need to be setting an example.
Yeah.
What kind of grades will you make?
A's and B's, couple C's here and there when I like was not going to school like that. But besides that, yeah, my grades are looking good.
So you a pretty good student.
Yeah, I just be getting caught up in stuff all the time.
Just got caught up in stuff. Exactly the point. So you got to promise me that going forward, you won't yield to temptation or to bad influences.
Yes, sir. I promise you.
Don't you want to give your mamas a break? And
Yeah, cause she already worried about me. She be thinking I'm gonna go down the road.
oh, I know you're worried. She's gonna spoil you. She probably gonna spoil you. How long you been in jail?
3 days, I think, or 2. I'm not sure.
Don't you need another 5 days so it to sink in that once you get out, you won't be making the same mistakes?
Not sure.
Hmm?
But I hope not. I don't want to.
Well, I hope your mama listening because I want all of them to call me and say, Judge Brown, I heard you when you told him what you told him. He didn't even appreciate it. He don't appreciate me. He back in trouble. Tell Sheriff Hill to come get him.
I don't do that.
You ain't gonna do that?
I don't want to do that. Nah,
all right. Well, you know, talk is cheap. I got people say anything in jail once they get out. Anyway, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt because we need to say thank you to your mother. I'm gonna show her some appreciation, even if you don't. You only get one.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. You sign your own bond. Don't go back to Jonesboro High School unless you enrolled over there.
Yes, sir.
All right.
The next one is Tristan Taylor. I'm sorry, sir. Last name Taylor.
Got it.
How you doing?
What's up?
Not much.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you have 2 charges: criminal trespass and cruelty to animals.
Yes.
Now, what's your relationship to Devin Childs Jr.?
Devin Childs Jr. is one of my.
I don't need a story. What's your relationship? A friend, a neighbor, roommate?
One of my best friends, yeah. Well,
were y'all living together?
Under somebody else's lease, yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so. Oh man, I tell you. Again, story wrong. All right, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Are you working?
I was working at the Circle K gas station, but quit for the coronavirus. So I'm currently doing the unemployment. But I'm a student at Jackson State University.
What'd you say about Jackson State?
I'm a student, online student.
So the place you were living is a house apartment?
It is a townhome, privately, sir.
Whose name is it in?
Shatilia Collins.
Who is she to you?
That is also, we know each other through music. So we have done music together, yeah.
All right, so when you get out of jail, you're gonna go back there, live there?
Well, I actually will be moving on the 1st to Morrow, Georgia, which is why he lied and pressed these charges.
Don't say that, because his mama might be listening and your mom, you got an attorney. So anyway, all right, so you'll be moving tomorrow on what day?
On the 1st, because the lease is ending.
Okay, so what you gonna do between now and the 1st? Where you gonna stay?
Oh, I can give me an Airbnb.
All right, so Devin Childs, you can't go back around him, all right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna let you sign your own bond. You can't go back around him.
Okay, that's fine.
If you do, you'll be in jail without a bond, you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one is Wallace.
Wallace, you get 3 charges: aggravated battery. I can't set you a bond because I record show you presently on probation. Hindering emergency call, the bond is $5,000, and cruel to the children by allowing a child to see or hear violence. Bond is $5,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Shanae, Sheena, Janaya. Your next court date is July the 22nd at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You can talk to the attorney about getting your bond lowered or your bond condition changed. Do you have any questions?
It all, getting my bond lowered or whatever, it all depends on the probation situation.
Okay, well, that's what you got to talk to your attorney about that.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Last name?
Williams, sir.
You say Wales?
Williams.
William.
Yes, sir.
Hold on one second. Judge Brown, Wells is gonna be coming up as well.
Okay,
So this is.
all right, thank you. Just the one. All right, so Mr. Williams, you have 3 charges: theft by receiving stolen property. The bond is 10,000. I'm sorry, I'm gonna make it 5,000. And carrying a concealed weapon, the bond is 3,500. And disorderly conduct, the bond is 3,500.
Excuse me, sir. May I?
No, hold on, let me finish. So your total bond is $10,000. And your next scheduled court date is July the 22nd, courtroom 202. And I've got a pretty good idea what you're gonna ask, but your situation is different from the young ladies because of your history and of what the officer said you said to them during the time. But I can't let you go into the facts of the case. You have to talk to your attorney. I'll go ahead and let you try to answer me a question, but I can't answer it. I'll let you know. What's your question?
I was gonna tell you like the honest truth.
No, the honest truth, you can need to talk to your attorney. Okay, the bond's 10,000 with your court date. So that's all I can tell you on that. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Brown, the next one is Mr. Wickett. Hold on one second.
Make sure I get the name of that officer and everything.
Hold on one moment. Judge Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Woodward has severe mental health issues, so you want to hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Woodward, come on, sir. judge? Talk to the judge. He talk to you.
All right, sir, what's his last name?
Ms. Woodward.
Woodward. Okay. I got it. All right, Mr. Woody, you have one charge of battery. Your bond is $7,500. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Frederick Willett Jr. Your next court date is July the 21st at 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. Unless you have any questions, you can go back with the deputy and you sign your bond, your condition of bond. Good luck to you.
Okay, Judge Brown, I have those gentlemen that are missing.
I was ready.
Okay, Judge Brown, let me ask you a question. Did you have any male add-ons as well, sir? A last name Bodie or a last name Tahir? I know I got the Joy Jenkins coming, but did you have any other add-ons besides her?
I know we had a male add-on, Marshall.
Marshall? Marshall? Okay.
First name is Franklin Lamar Marshall.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get him up because I don't have him either, but we can go through the other people.
I'm ready. Whatever you got, just send somebody up and we'll get them.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the 17 and start with Mr. Bardo and Curry, okay, sir?
Got it. Ready.
All right. You said Franklin Marshall. Okay, I'm clear. Come on, Mr. Bardo, come on to the podium, come on. Pull it down off your face so he can hear it. Stand right here behind the podium.
Mr. Bardo, you have one charge of simple battery. The bond is $5,000. And have a bond condition, have no contact with your wife, Tamira Bardo. Would you like to waive your case or do you have any questions?
No.
You do not wish to waive it?
Can I get a signature bond?
No, sir.
Or what would my cost of my bond to get bonded out?
Cash bond, it'll be $5,000. You turn that into the sheriff's office, you get it back. Property bond, somebody need to have property with $10,000 or $15,000 worth of cash value or equity. By going through a bonding company, they charge about 10 or 15% of that $5,000. Don't ask me because I'm not good at math.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No, sir.
Would you like to waive it? Yes or no?
Yes. Or what's that?
Right. That means you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days.
I take the bond.
Well, you got the bond regardless, $5,000. Do you want to waive your case to get to the trial court quicker?
I don't get what you mean.
Okay, your court date is July the 21st, 8 o'clock. If you make bond, you can disregard that court date. You'll get the notice in the mail.
Yeah, I discard it.
Okay, you assign your bond paperwork. You can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
Go ahead.
Hands on the wall. Come on in. Okay, so the next one is Mr. Curry. Yes.
Mr. Curry, you got driving on suspended license. Your bond is $1,500. Okay, so would you like to waive your case?
Explain.
Did you hear me explain that waiving, you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days? By waiving, you're not pleading guilty. You still presume innocent. You can still get an attorney. You still can make bond. If you choose not to waive it, your court date will be July the 21st. And it could be reset again after that.
Okay, I'll waive it. That's gonna get me out of here quicker.
I don't know if it gets you out of here, but it gets you in front of the trial court judge, so the possibility it can get you out of quickly. All right, other than that, you can go back with the deputy, you sign your waiver. Good luck to you.
Can I
I wanted to, what's my bond?
$1,500.
And, can I pay that now?
Yeah. Yep.
Come over here, right here. Okay, Judge Brown, the next one is Raynard Davis.
Okay. Mr. Davis, you have 3 charges. Speeding, the bond is $1,500. Reckless driving, $1,500. Obstructing the officer, $1,000. Your total bond is $4,000. Do you think you'll be able to make your bond? Yes or no?
Am I able to pay with my debit card now?
As I know.
Yeah,
Would you like to waive your case?
waive it. Can you explain the waiving?
Cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney. You still can make bond. If you don't waive it, your court date is July the 21st, and it could get reset again after that.
No, I just want to go to the court date.
But you want to waive it, yes or no?
No.
Okay, your court date is July the 21st. Courtroom 202. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir, did he get a waiver?
No.
Okay, come over here. So the next one is Justin Garaquez. Put your hands up.
Spell the last name.
Garriq.
Oh, okay, that's the one. All right, we got the brothers.
Okay, thank you.
Justin,
Yes, sir.
you have a bond $2,000, charge of obstructing the officer. One second here. Okay, would you like to waive your case, or do you have any questions?
What's waive again? You could explain a waive. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days.
If I waive it, I still could bond out.
Yes, sir.
If I waive it and bond out, it's still gonna be in 7 to 14 days.
Nope. You get the notice in the mail.
All right, I'll waive it.
All right, you can step to the side. You sign your waiver. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Where's Stefan?
Yeah. Marshall should be down there, right? Franklin Marshall?
Yeah.
This is Stephon Garriquez, sir.
All right, Mr. Stefan, your bond is $2,000 on obstruction charge. Would you like to waive your case?
What do you waive?
Cut down on the time it takes getting to the trial court from 7 to 10 days instead of 3 to 4 weeks. You're not pleading guilty. You still can get an attorney. You're proof for an attorney. You can still make bond. If you make bond, your case is automatically waived. If you choose not to waive, your court date is July 21st, and it could be reset again after that.
I just waive it.
All right, you sign your waiver and you go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Another do, sir. Your last name?
Jackson.
Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jackson. John DeAndre?
Sir.
Okay, you got one count of endangering the security interest. That means you got some property, you got a car, and then, oh man.
I paid the fee, they lifted that.
Say it again?
I paid the fee, they lifted that Monday.
So no. All right, well, I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna let you sign your own bond anyway. Just make sure, I hope they did it, because if not.
I'm sure they did. I wouldn't lie to you, because I don't want to come.
Okay. All right, well, you still got a court date now.
Yep.
You still got a court date. Do you want to waive it? Well, that's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Since I let you sign your own bond, you'll get the notice in the mail.
Okay.
Go ahead and approve you for an attorney. Have your attorney to get that information over to the Solicitor General's office so they can drop the case.
Yes, I'll do that.
Take care.
Thanks, sir.
Sir, this is Sanchez Medina.
Sanchez Medina. All right, sir, you have one charge, Lord, and prowling. Your bond is 1,000. You have a bond condition not to go back around 6569 Hampstead Road in Rex, Georgia. Would you like to waive your case, or do you have any questions?
How long would it take to me to get a court?
If you waive it, it'll be 7 to 10 days. If you make bond, you'll get the notice in the mail. If you don't waive it, it'll be July 22nd, and it could be reset again.
What's today's date?
18th. Well, it's June the 18th, though.
Also next month?
Yes, sir.
I'll waive it.
All right, you'll sign your waiver and your bond condition paperwork, and you go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Judge Brown,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Sanchez Medina have a bond, sir?
1,000.
Okay, thank you. So the next is gonna be, we're going back up to the 18th now, Valentino Ferguson.
Okay. I got it. I've been waiting. Mr. Valentino, man, you got a name on you.
Thank you.
Who you get named after?
My father.
What? Valentino. Who you live with?
My mom, my brother, basically my whole family, really. My mom, my brother, my sister, my other brother, and their kids.
Woo!
Yeah.
Are you in school?
No, I just graduated McDonough High School.
Well, what you doing out late at night with folks that your mama wouldn't want you out with at 4 in the morning?
We was
You don't have to answer that. So what's next for you since you done graduated from high school?
The 23rd is supposed to be graduation at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
What's your last name?
So no.
What's your last name?
What's your grade point average?
I don't know. I gotta.
Oh, that means it's not good if you don't know.
I know it's not good though because I ain't realized you had to get like A's and B's for it to go up. I was just trying to pass the class. That's all.
Wait a minute.
I ain't know that.
Wait a minute. What kind of? I mean, you getting ready to get out into the world and you just want to get by. You don't want to get ahead.
I'll find a way.
Well, you better find it because you can't find it at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, your mom got a lot on her plate. All y'all, these mamas tell you. Where your dad at?
I don't. We don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you talked to your mother since you've been in jail?
No, I spoke to my brother though. My mom said if we was to ever get locked up, don't contact her because she won't.
Oh, she got a good mama. So you got a good mama. You got a real good mama.
Yeah, so I spoke to my brother already.
Well, I'll tell you what. You tell your mama because
Marshall.
you've been tough love. I'm gonna let you sign your own bond. She might get mad at me and say, Judge, you should have gave him some tough love too.
Thank you.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You also tell her, Judge Brown, say, call him if you don't straighten up.
Yes, sir.
All right, you got a bond condition not to go back around Jonesboro High School. You sign your own bond. You can charge with loitering and prowling. The bond is 1,000. The criminal trespass bond is 1,000. But I'm letting you sign your own bond. Stay in contact with the court so you won't miss your court date. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge Brown, the next one is gonna be Mr. Ivy, LaRon Ivy.
Got him. Mr. Ibe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You had 2 charges, but I dismissed one. Officer didn't give me enough information. So you have 1 count of possession of marijuana, less than an ounce. The bond is $1,500. The possession of MDMA is dismissed. Officer didn't give me enough information.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to waive your case?
Waive it as what you mean, sir.
I just need to hit a button and just, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna record myself. And every time I get first appearance, I'm just gonna hit that button. I say,
Like, first time
I'm just gonna hit that button. That's a good idea. If I continue to do these first, I'm gonna hit the button. I'm waiving your case. You're not pleading guilty. You still presume. I bet everybody who's listening on YouTube, they know they can tell you what first. They can tell you what waiving mean by now.
Yeah.
They got it down by heart. One last time. Well, probably won't be the last. Anyway, by waiving your case, you're not pleading guilty. You're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney and you can still make bond. By waiving your case, you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. If you don't waive it, your court date will be July the 21st, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202, and it could be reset again. If you do waive it, you'll be in front of a trial court judge in 7 to 10 days, unless you make bond. If you make bond, your case is automatically waived upstairs to the trial court, and you'll get the notice in the mail.
Okay.
You like to waive it, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right, now you go with the deputy, sign your waiver, your bond is $1,500. You can make that bond at any time.
Okay. Well, is it possible I can be able to get a phone call to call my family and let them know?
Deputy Knox, can he get a phone call to let his family let him know?
What did he say? Can he do what?
He want to call his family and let him know what the bond is. Let them know what the bond is.
You'll have that opportunity, sir.
All right. They'll give you the opportunity. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
One moment, sir. The next one is gonna be Wells.
Got it.
The guns hurt, sir, come on. Sir, can I talk to the judge? Hey, let me go. Let me go.
Y'all still over there? I think we lost the sound. Not now. Hmm. Gone. How many we got left? 4, 5. I get Miss Mary to come up the knobs. So, is that on our end? Do we need to call our team? You know what? We can go. We can still. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Judge Brown? Judge Brown?
Judge Brown.
I'm here.
Okay, okay, this is gonna be Mr. Wells, sir. We just had
Mr.
some,
Wells, I got him. Mr. Wells, you got one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree. Your bond is $5,000. You have bond condition to have no contact with Vincent Gardner.
Yes, sir.
Your court date is July 22nd, 8 o'clock, courtroom 202. You have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. You can go back to the deputy. Good luck to you.
Man, I ain't got no bond.
5,000.
Oh, okay. So that'd be 500. Okay, thank you.
okay, sir, Mr. Marshall, Franklin Marshall. Come over here, Mr. Marshall, before you face your hands down. Mr. Marshall, go behind the podium. Put your hands down. Put your hands
Mr.
down.
Marshall, you have two charges. Criminal trespass, your bond is 3,000. Simple battery, 2,000. Your total bond is 5,000. You have a bond condition to have no contact with Stavaria Gazelle. Would you like to waive your case? That means you cut down on the time it takes to get to the trial court from 3 to 4 weeks to 7 to 10 days. You're not pleading guilty, you're still presumed innocent. You can still get an attorney, you still can make bond. If you do choose not to waive it, your court date will be July 21st. And it could be reset again after that. If you do waive it, you'll be transferred upstairs to the state court in 7 to 10 days. Do you want to waive it, yes or no, or do you have any questions?
I said, yeah.
He said, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, you'll sign your bond paperwork and then you'll sign your waiver. You can go back with the deputy. Good luck to you.
Judge Brown, the next one is gonna be, come over here. The next one's gonna be Joy Jenkins. That female you said, sir?
Got it.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Put my bond in.
Ms. Jenkins, you have two charges: possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is 1,500, and possession of one second. Possession of MDMA. The bond is 2,500. The total bond is 4,000. You think you'll be able to make your bond? Yes, no? Oh, no, disregard that. If you do, that's fine. Your bond is 4,000. Your next court date, if you don't make bond, is July 22nd. If you make bond, you can disregard that court date. You'll get the notice in the mail. Unless you have any questions, you can go back with the deputy.
Okay, as far as these being my charges, as far as like a second chance program or like the felony on my
You have to talk to your attorney about that. I've approved you for an attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Brown, I think that.
I got Jerome Dent.
Now, you didn't tell me about him, sir. Is that another add-on?
Oh, okay. Hold on, let us check list. Here's my list. I don't know if it's today. Oh, yeah? You gonna check? Okay. All right. We're checking on Mr. Dent and we got paperwork on one more. We're checking both of those. Give us 30 seconds.
Okay, we can stand by.
All right. All right. And you know, we appreciate getting those waivers back as soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
Y'all still ain't on Washington? What is that?
Okay, dent made bond, you can disregard that. Okay, I think we did. Did we do a Heather Kinsey?
Yes, we did, sir.
All right. Okay, that means we're good.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. We're finished, right? And then,
Yes, ma'am. Thank everybody on your end on our behalf.
hold on one moment, Judge Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Judge Brown, thank you. We're finished.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.